Before we begin, thank you very much to Master Ben95 for rejoining the Patreon campaign. Welcome back. Glad to have you. Thank you very much for the support. The Patreon campaign is very, very important to keeping this channel alive and afloat and keeping the daily content coming and the daily grind grinding. We made a weird discovery. If you're on my Patreon as a free tier, then upgrade to another tier. It doesn't actually notify me of that. So we actually missed that shout out. So if I've missed the shout out because somebody did that, I do apologize. I'm not sure how to work around that. If you upgrade, the best thing to do is just like drop me a message on Patreon just to let me know, oh, hey, by the way, we've upgraded now, so like shout out please, and we'll get that handled. So it's a Monday, it's a news roundup, and we've got a loaded week of news. I'm going to try to get through it as quickly as possible because, oh my god, it's a busy month. And we are going to look at the very first color pictures, the first look at the stock photos for Missing Link Sunstreaker and his retool Corden. This was such a nice surprise when they announced this because for those, I'll keep repeating it because it's very important. This was the very first Transformer toy ever designed. Like, Sunstreaker is the first figure that was made for the Diaclone spin-off line car robots. So he has a really important place in history. I'm glad to see that it's acknowledged by Missing Link by making him so early in the run. And more importantly, for us who still enjoy the G1 toys, this is one of those molds that's completely lost or destroyed. So this is one of those that you couldn't get a reissue. You had to be stuck with the vintage, and it's not a vintage toy known for really being in good condition when you find it. So this is a very, very nice choice for them to go with. Now, we don't have good images of these. It's just these potato quality pictures, but we know that it's far enough into production that the official stock photos have been taken. I am eager to get a full look at this from Takara once like actual photos or galleries are done. Should be really, really cool. But as long as we're talking about Missing Link, Bumble and Cliff have come out in Japan. I thought this was like earlier than I expected. I thought this was next year. But point being, we now get a good in-hand look at them. You can see they come in the old school styrofoam trays. If you're buying Bumblebee, you're getting screwed over because it doesn't come with the extra accessory Cliff Jumper does. So you get a little bit less in the package, but you're buying a Bumblebee. You're used to that by now. Let's see. You do get some stickers, including the ones that kind of replicate some of the weirder artwork that the characters had. And then, yeah, the toys themselves are doing a pretty good job of just looking like really interesting approximations of the original toys. They've done a fantastic job on this. Yeah, see, with the arms turned, yeah, you can see the differences if you really look, but it's harder to notice. It's a really, really good job that they've done. And then, yeah, the articulation, to get that level of modern articulation into that old design is one reason I think Missing Link is such a fascinating idea. The rub sign on the underside of the foot's neat. I'm glad they threw the rub sign in there somewhere. You even have weapon storage. Look at this. Yeah, I think it's really impressive to actually get modern articulation into such, admittedly primitive designs. I'm looking forward to these. I'm looking forward to these. I can't remember if I have one or both pre-ordered. They're not terribly expensive for what they are. They're less than like a Legends class third party is at that size. I'm looking forward to these. I really like the concept of Missing Link in general. We know this. We've done multiple videos on it. So in China, they are doing Cybertron Con, and they're just rolling out these previews of exclusives. Now, all these are rumored to be exclusives, but they seem like they are lined up to be designed with Cybertron Con in mind. And here's the weird thing. So they're doing their own special release of Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime, but it seems like all they're doing is releasing that toy with an extra set of stickers that you can apply to make it more toy accurate. Because the toy itself is the exact same colors, the exact same paintwork. If they were going to go toy accurate with the design, then the legs would be silver, not white. So it's a weird concept. It's a weird little exclusive thing because it really does look like the sticker sheet is the only thing special about it. And you'll note that the stickers for the windows are decidedly anime in shading. Like, it actually looks more like the graphics from Devastation, which makes this a weird choice. And we got another picture of it in vehicle mode out of the box, where you have a different set of stickers that you can apply that look decidedly more anime based. And you can see here he's got like lined eyes, whereas opposed to the previous pictures, they were yellow like the toy. So again, it's all just sticker. Like, you're getting the same toy, but stickers. It's a weird call. It's a really weird call. But you know what? I guess for a weird exclusive, for Cybertron Con, okay, whatever. We also seem to have a Magmatron on the way that's going to be exclusive to Cybertron Con. All we have here is the box shot. We do not have this opened, so we don't know exactly the differences from the colors on the box. It looks like he might be a little bit more vibrant in molding color, maybe a little bit more gold accent. Hard to tell. Very hard to tell. Not surprising that Hasbro somewhere, wherever it is in the world, would try to get another use out of this mold because it's an expensive mold and Magmatron has no repaints whatsoever. Not as far as I know of, outside of maybe like some super obscure Lucky Draw or something. Point being, not surprised they figure out some way of using the mold again. No idea what's changed though. But that's not all. Masterpiece Brawl is also rumored to be a Cybertron Con exclusive, which you can see that printed on the side of the box. And we have no idea. There's new artwork on it, depicting Brawl fighting off Ratchet and Jazz, and potentially Ironhide on the side. It's hard to see from here. But the point being, they are rolling out a lot of huge molds to be exclusives for that con, which is kind of ridiculous. Not sure what the difference on Brawl is going to be. Potentially battle damage, potentially altered color schemes. We don't know. We have no idea. Just for any fans in China who are actually going to the con, it's going to be an expensive time. Just warning you. TV Coon magazine has released the translucent Mirage that they promised a while back. We've seen pictures of this, but now we have in-hand photos of it, and yes, it is my exact nightmare. It is an almost all translucent plastic version of Mirage. Now, it looks neat, but yes, my fear with this is always long-term survivability because clear plastic does not handle long-term stress well. To their credit, a lot of the plastic still seems to be the more durable palm plastic that's cast in gray. So a lot of the internals and the fists and a lot of the more heavy components of the transformation are done in more durable material, but that's still a lot of clear plastic. It's interesting that they actually chose to do the mainline version, the core series Mirage, rather than the studio series, which I'm sure at some point will also have the same treatment. Yeah, like I said, it's a neat looking toy, but it's just, clear plastic. But you know what? Put it on a shelf. Don't transform it. Just use it as a nice show-offy display piece, and maybe it'll be fine. Potato quality to be sure, but we have a leaker who actually managed to get a copy of the Age of the Primes Prima, who actually still had the head. And while it's a very small photo, we can at least tell where the design influence comes from. It's the character that is now retroactively called G1 Prima, which is from Five Faces of Darkness Part 4, the flashback to show the origin of Cybertron and the Transformers. This is the head of the first robot who rose up against the Quintessons, the Gladiator that first tried to attack them and planted the seed of rebellion. It's a weird head with the weird curved fins on the side. But keep in mind, the Age of the Primes toys are going for the most popular, well-known depiction of any of the Primes. Prima really doesn't have any media appearances. He's in books, and like the artwork is in the Covenant of the Primes book, but the Covenant of Primus though, like those never appeared in any real media. Like he's never one of those 13 that they featured in anything. So yeah, they're kind of just going off of like that particular head, which does open us up a possibility of like getting a repaint of that toy or a retool that looks more like that Gladiator, because he's more like a cobalt blue color rather than Prima's like pearl white. It's an interesting call, and it really just kind of reinforces the idea that, yeah, Hasbro's just going to be mixing and mashing some of these designs over the years to create what is, you know, like a unified 13. Kind of curious to see what else they got in store. Speaking of, let us talk about the official in-hand shots that we got of Megatronus the Fallen. This did come with behind-the-scenes material from Mark Marr, and it's mostly just hype and fluff. He's really proud that they're going to get the entire 13 out for the first time. The toy itself does look fantastic. Again, mixing and mashing different iterations. So he's very much Dreamwave Fallen in design. But then you have the Requiem Blaster from Megatronus's fictional depictions. So again, you're getting this interesting little mix. Yeah, it's just such a cool looking figure. I'm so happy like a proper Dreamwave Fallen figure is actually happening. It's a really, really cool figure. Now, the behind the scenes post did come with a little bit of extra info. Geez, the purple's way more vibrant on the original art. So, Mark described that we will be able to complete the 13 in the next 2 years, which means Age of the Primes is only going to be a 2-year line. It's not going to be a trilogy like we originally expected, like a lot of recent generations lines have been. Which this is probably due to all the shakeups at Hasbro, like firing John Warden, a lot of like shifts that are taking place right now in the franchise. Not surprising. Like this one might have been cut short, or like 3-year plans might have become 2-year plans for whatever reason. But it's interesting to know that like it's not going to take a full 3 years to get the 13. We're actually going to, it's going to be a little bit quicker than that. So look forward to the collecting, because so far the toys do look really, really good and different. And different is what I'm looking for these days. Not this different, though. Not this different. So we have the official in-hand images of Bump of Chicken Optimus Prime. It is the Earthrise mold. I believe it's just the cab. And yeah, it's just how it appeared in the music video with all those bright colors, which just kind of comes across as like, we just have a toy to sell, but we're going to throw it into this anniversary thing. Weird. Yeah, the coloring's not for me. I know there's people who are going to love this because it is very much like knockoff flavor, and I know there's some out there who specifically love the stuff that kind of looks knockoffy. It is certainly unique. It is certainly unique. And then we have the lead, there we have the lead singer with it, the band. There's a shirt as well. We are really pushing this. Oh yeah, they did Bump of Chicken also did that that Bumblebee from way back. Like that the Titans Return Bumblebee that got repainted into blue. Forgot all about that for a second. This is gonna retail like $50 from what I saw, which for like some weird random exclusive Voyager class isn't actually not that bad. But it's not gonna be for me. Someone out there is gonna love it though. The Dramatic Capture Autobot 3-pack is now in hand, so we get to take a look at the various figures. And the big one here is, of course, the mainframe. I mean, the Optimus and Jazz look fine, but they just kind of look like, slight upgrades of the existing ones. Okay, fine. I have 86 Optimus now. Why am I going to go get another copy of the Earthrise Optimus? But the big thing here is Mainframe, who does exactly what that Mainframe toy should have always done. He is Teletran 1 in, I don't know, computer mode. But then he has his proper Action Master colors in the robot mode. Now, I had this on pre-order, and like for its expense, I'm like, I can't spend this just to get a hold of Mainframe. I know there's going to be people who parted out, but very, very few who are actually going to sell off the Mainframe from the 3-pack. So we will see. The Jazz has clear plastic. I prefer the multi-pack one that made it opaque. Of course I do. But yeah, it's just, these feel like very minor upgrades compared to like all the metallic coloring that got done on like the Decepticon 3-pack. You know, Megatron is mostly painted silver. Like, he looks extremely cool. And then Prime just kind of looks like Earthrise Prime with just a little bit of extra detail thrown in here and there. You know, and sometimes like not even feels like it. Like on a more yeah, do we have comparison? Please tell me this person took a photo of comparing it to the actual. No, they didn't. Oh well. Oh well. I don't know if this set is worth it just for the Mainframe. I guess if you didn't get the Prime or the Jazz. The Prime is still fun. It's just not as good as the 86, that's all. So I'm sure someone out there is gonna... There's gonna be a lot of people going after just the Mainframe, aren't they? A company called Unix Square is releasing their Combat Optimus Prime, and this is an interesting one. So it's a very stylized Optimus Prime. We've kind of seen him in this more anime mecha-esque design from time to time, but this one does come with a twist. I mean, I don't mind it, really. Like, I like how many painted details there are. I like how much is sculpted in. Like, it's an interesting level of detail. It looks like you're splitting the Matrix in half there, but we'll ignore that. It's very posable, too. Like, exceptionally posable. Interesting shape on the axe, which kind of looks like a hammer with a projected blade sticking out of it. That's weird. There's the cannon. There's a sword, so we're throwing back to the movie Optimus. It can be a bayonet. That's an interesting little twist on it. Yeah, okay, there's the Matrix compartment. Okay, there you go. We haven't broken it yet. Speaking of, though, the whole trick to this one is you actually can break the figure down like so and recombine it into the truck mode. It is a messy-looking truck, to be sure. But it is interesting to do because, number one, it's very rare when you get a Transformer that works that way to, like, come apart and then recombine into the vehicle, especially an Optimus Prime, especially a notable character. But also, it's extremely rare when any company outside of Hasbro gets to do any kind of transformation element to a toy. You know, literally, it's like Lego and Mattel, two of the biggest toy companies in the world. So this is a really unique piece for that, specifically. You've got to really love the aesthetic behind it, but it's probably going to be worth it to a lot of people out there. Speaking of out there collectibles, Killer Body showed off more photos of their removable armor helmet, which still looks really, really cool. I'd still like a shot of this thing to show like how you're supposed to actually get into it. Is it just... Does the back come off in any way? Is it just like you just stick your head through the bottom? Is it large enough for that? Just some shot of the underside. But as we can see, the detailing on this is really, really incredible. You can see here where the eyes actually have a mesh quality to them, which is how you're going to be able to see out of them while keeping the eyes looking solid. Nice little touch. Yeah, it's just a really, really cool looking figure. Oh, Look cool looking helmet. Yeah, really well designed. Really, really intricately detailed. Really, really good. Yeah, it's not bad. It is not bad at all. You know, it's a very, very nice piece. It's gonna be a good centerpiece in a shelf somewhere. Back to our friends at Blockies, we now have photos of their Action Edition Volume 2 Megatron. This is just their bigger figure line, essentially. Yeah, you can see, full model kit, lots and lots of sprues to put together. And I really like the Blockies stuff. Like, everything I've bought from them so far has been, like, really high quality, really, like, surprisingly good for what I spent. It's been very, very nice. Yep, and the final one comes across maybe like a little bit like a little bit anime deformed, but not to the point where it's like throwing me off. I still really like the overall look that they've gone for here. Like, it is a really, really solid looking Megatron. All the good, important details are there. Having Laserbeak as an accessory is very appreciated. Looks like 19 millimeters at the head tall. I don't know what that is in inches off the top of my head. But considering it's a little bit bigger than Studio Series 86 Optimus there, decently sized. He is decently sized. No, yeah, so like he's like Voyager size, or like maybe Voyager size but bulkier, I guess. Yeah, the throne to keep the weapons in is also a really great touch. Yeah, it's just a nice looking figure. Yeah, Blockies does really good work. If you see something from them, don't be like nervous about it. Like it's actually worth grabbing. There is an official Transformers store in the UK in Battersea. There is now a air quote permanent standalone Transformer store that sells just nothing but Transformer stuff. So we have people going inside and showing us how it looks. So we've got stacks and stacks of comic books and T-shirts. We got lots of racks full of memorabilia, toys. We see like a build your own Optimus Prime model kit in there. We have the statues from Transformers 1 on display. And, you know, of course, like toys. Looks like a lot of Earthspark and Transformers 1 at the moment. They have all the Blockies stuff. I imagine a lot of partner stuff here. Oh my god, do they have Blockies. I think that's all 5. That's all 5 of the Galaxy set. Sheesh. Still very, very cool. Okay, some big impressive ones on display. Those are the Robo-Sens. Yeah, there's some more Transformers 1 toys on, up for sale. We got plushies, lots of plushies. Yeah, it's just fascinating to see, just like in one spot, to see like how many different types of Transformers memorabilia there is. And they had to get from so many different sources to get all of this, because there's no one place you can just get all of the Transformers memorabilia. I like the photo area too. With the old school G1 grid backdrop, that's actually a really good idea. That's a really good idea. Yeah, it's unfortunate, like, I'm probably never going to actually see this store. Never going to see this store. Oh, that's the model kit. Like, that super giant model kit Optimus Prime that was coming out. There it is. So they got that on display, too, which is cool. They got Funko Pops as well. Yeah, that's absolutely loaded. It's weird to see that, like, there's actually not a whole lot of official product in there. Did you see any Generations or Studio Series? Because I didn't. Kind of fascinating. I'm really hoping that does well, because I want that to stick around and be a thing. Like, if it comes out in the U.S. somewhere, like, Orlando would be a perfect place to open it up. You know, just, like, give me one. Like, give me an excuse to go to Universal Studios and just put one in there. And to wrap us up for the week, Agoro is doing another Transformers silver coin. This one is Bumblebee. Yep. $2 coin, which you'll never actually use for its $2 face value. And yeah, it's just a simple little Bumblebee coin cast in silver. I'm not entirely sure why you entirely paint a silver coin, because then you don't really tell that it's silver, but, you know, that's just how coin collecting and this kind of thing goes. So, I'm sure someone out there is going to be interested. They've done a ton of these, so no big surprise. No big surprise. People are gonna go nuts because it's B. That should be the end of the news roundup, but I'm going to address one more thing, because it was the talk of Transformers last week, and I don't view it as a news story. So, Elon was blustering on Twitter about potentially buying Hasbro to get a hold of D&D, and the Transformer community freaked out about what that would mean. Oh my god, Optimus Prime's going to be a Cybertruck. Calm down. Number one, Elon blusters a lot. He almost never means anything. Two, half of the context I saw was Elon's idea of telling jokes, and Elon is very, very bad at telling jokes. So a lot of people can't read between the lines, they take it at face value. Don't do that. Number three, it's been reviewed by people who are better at economics than I am. Elon would need liquid assets in order to buy Hasbro. He does not have enough. He doesn't have close to enough. And he also can't get a majority share of stock because most of the stock is not public. So everyone, calm down. It ain't happening. We're safe. And honestly, like, to the news sites that actually treated it as news, please be more responsible in your reporting. All you did was frighten the fan base for what is most likely absolutely nothing. Let's try to be better. Let's try not to do that, because I do find it to be irresponsible reporting. Let's just stick to like the actual news and confirmable rumors, not what Mr. Twitterman says. But that's going to be it for the news roundup. So, yeah, we had a long one this time because, as I said, loaded news week. But I prefer that over having nothing to talk about, right? So, thank you everyone for watching. I will see you next time.
Analysis complete. Adapting translators to local language.
Are you out there?